Okay. Click, click, click. All right. Click to go live with me. Jermaine Griggs here. I'm just sharing this with my own friends. Click and let's go live together because tonight I'm in the studio here at my Here and Play studio, and I'm talking about the power of decision. The power of decision. So join me for just a little talk. I've been going live every night, coming to you with a message of hope, inspiration, motivation. And tonight will be no exception. I want to tell you my fitness story, my health and fitness transformation. And I want to kind of encapsulate that in the topic, the power of decision. So I'm going to log into the chat room really quickly here just to see who's on. And I want this to be a dialogue. I want to talk with you. I want to ask you what your moments of decision have been, or maybe looking into the future, what decisions that need to be made today. And if I can encourage you to make those decisions, then my time spent here will be time well spent. So who is with me? I don't have my cell phone, so I can't tell who's coming into the room, but what I can see is what you comment on. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in the chat room. So please comment. Oh, I see you guys in the house. Joetta, thank you for being on. Cindy, Patsy's from Brooklyn. Harry, how are you? I am blessed, sir. How are you? And please share this. If you know people on your timeline that need to hear this message, the power of decision, please share it with them. Because first and foremost, I had to come to grips with the health part of my life. Now, if life is a big tire and you've got your spiritual life, you've got your relationships, you've got family, you've got friends, you've got your fitness life, you've got your health, you've got your means of economics, you've got your career, right? How you make money, finances, how you take care of yourself and those closest to you. You've got fun and happiness, love and happiness. And this is just a big tire. And really the key to life, in my opinion, is balance, right? Because if you want to go on a journey and you're taking a vehicle, that's your mode of transportation on that journey, well, you want your tire to be round. You want to be well-rounded. That's where that comes from. And you want balance. And when I look back in my life, I felt like in my business career, if you've heard my story, I started when I was young. I started when I was 12. I was the youngest Avon lady in California. Holla. Me, pink ribbon and all. And you're laughing, but you would have been my customer. Just ask some of those women in my complex growing up. I lived in Long Beach, and I went door to door, 12 years old, selling my Avon fragrances. So I started in business early. By 17, I had a website called hereandplay.com with the vision to change the way the world learned music. Didn't know what I was doing, but I figured it out. And in my 20s, achieved amazing results, like on the business side of things. And got to meet people, got to be in calendars, got to be on TV, just living my dreams and being very, very blessed. And it all came, I came to this realization when I was on stage, being honored for Business Person of the Year. I've told this story before. And I'm my biggest weight ever. I'm 230 pounds. 25% body fat, and visually whatever. But what I was feeling internally is what was the most shocking to me at the time. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm dizzy on stage. I'm getting an award from Goldman Sachs Infusionsoft. And the crowd is going around in circles. I'm dizzy. I feel like fainting when I'm speaking. Cesar is in the other room. Put up some of those pictures, Cesar, because this just encapsulates. There I am. This probably 2011, and more often than not, when I look back at some of those pictures, I feel like all of them look like that. You could look in my eyes, and you could see a tired person. You could see a person that I don't know. And guess how old I am? I'm only like 27 in this picture. I'm only 27, And my energy is just zapped away. I go to the doctor. They say I'm at a pre-diabetes stage, pre-hypertension, like not quite there, but like pre. I'm thinking my energy is because of sleep apnea. So if you've ever taken one of those tests, that's what this picture is. And they're monitoring my sleep, and I'm trying to figure out if that's the problem. But what it came down to was my decision at that stage of my life to not be cognizant of how I ate, how I exercised, how I took care of myself. I had business pursuits, I had career pursuits, I guess you could say award winning, but to myself, as father, energy, couldn't keep up with my kids. And at this age, I think my son at that time was, he's probably 1. I can't keep up with him. My daughters are probably 3 and 6, respectively. And this is life. This is life. And so when I talk about the power of decision, I'm not coming to you on the other side and saying, do this, do that. I'm coming to you from a place of, I've been there in the health and fitness, and I'm still figuring that out. I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff. But I'm coming to you from a place where I've been there. I know what it feels like to be on the other side of a decision. Can I get an amen? See who else is in the house here. I'm going to try to sort these comments. It's always weird on the computer here. But let me know if you're in the house, because I'm on my computer, so I can't actually see who's entering the room. But I can see who's in the house if you comment. Cindy, thank you for being on. Lena, thank you for being on. Renee Johnson, thank you for being on. Patsy, I see you. Destiny, I see you. All right, and the story continues because Cesar is going to keep popping up some of those older pictures. So here I am. It's 2011. 2011. Pop up that anniversary picture. I'm in my anniversary. Yep, that picture. And every picture looks the same. I mean, different clothes, but it's this tiredness. I couldn't figure it out. I had tickets to the Clippers. And you stand up in the fourth quarter, you know how games work. I stand up, same thing. Arena is spinning. And I remember coming to the realization, Renee will remember, Renee came to my 30th party, her and her husband and some of my other neighbors up here. And that was around the time. So this is now 2 years after that. And I come to the realization that I don't want to live like this no more. Anybody ever came to that realization or have had to come to grips with that statement? And I don't know what part of life, that I'm resonating with you on. Maybe it's not health and fitness for you. Maybe it's finances. Maybe it's a career decision. Maybe it's a relationship decision. Maybe it's family. Whatever it is, you come to this boiling point where you say, I don't want to go on like this anymore. Pop up some more pictures. Let's just overwhelm them with the before, because this was life. Here, I'm in the bed with my son. Every picture is the same. He's smiling, and I'm just trying to keep up with that soul, youth. Even the Bible says, remember the days of your youth. Parents, we ought to be there. If there's a time to be there for your kids, it's in their youth, to have the energy to keep up with them and to give them the best life experiences. And here I am, I'm on my computer handling business, but you can just see. And I remember taking my before and after pictures. There it was. Some of y'all say, you're not that bad. But to me, I was. And I was 230, 25% body fat. This is 2013. I'm 29 and I'm turning 30. And I come to that realization that something's got to change. Something's got to change. And that's when I made a decision. And back to me, Cesar. A lot of people think a decision is this long, drawn out thing. It's not. When a decision happens, what I've learned, my opinion, a decision happens like that. A decision happens in an instant. A decision happens in a second. A decision, it's usually some kind of moment in your life, some kind of situation, and it just happens. Here, I'll tell you guys this. I used to suck my pinky. My wife will tell you, like this. I can't even do it anymore. It feels weird to me. But anybody that knew me personally knew till about the age of, what, 2007. So what would that have been? 23. I get home, I wash my hands and stuff. I'm not crazy. But I just sucked my pinky. And I remember, and it caused my teeth to protrude, and it had all kinds of, byproducts. And I remember getting like some things done with my teeth. And guess how long? Now, when you put money on the line to fix something, like I did with this grill of mine, that this pinky had protruded everything out, the doctor fixed me all up. Guess how long it took me to stop sucking my pinky? I'm a grown man anyway, and I'm surprised I'm even telling you all this, but I did. I sucked my pinky. I had a lisp, everything. And guess how long it took for me to stop sucking my pinky after I put investment on the line? My wife will tell you it happened in an instant. It wasn't no 12-step plan to stop this habit. It wasn't no 6-step process. It happened that night. It happened that night. I never looked back. So when the pain is enough or the investment is enough or you're all in enough, decision happens. And it doesn't take a long time. It just happens. But you got to get to that point where you got to say, I don't want this anymore. Or if you talk like me, no more. That's it. Instant. And that's what happened. Sarah Griggs says, oh, Lord, you keeping it real. I am. But tell him, babes. It was an instant. And the same thing happened when I finally decided about my weight, that I wanted to get in shape. And I wanted to go into my 30s. See, sometimes it takes some kind of catalyst like that. Maybe it is you going into that next decade of your life. Maybe you're at that half decade, 25, 30, 35, 45, 55, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, quite frankly, but anything you can tie meaning to that is a new start. Maybe it's the beginning of the year coming upon us. Now, that's an arbitrary one that we all bounce back and forth, and that didn't do it for me. I mean, many New Years came and went. It wasn't that for me, but something about turning 30 and juxtaposed with these, being on stage feeling faint and then being at the game feeling faint and then not being able to keep up with my kids and all the pictures you all see, which is what I'm living at the moment. You always look back at a picture and you say, that makes sense. It makes sense why that picture looked like that, because that's what I felt like, right? And that's when I make that decision. And it happens June 2nd. Showing those pictures, I took these pictures June 2nd and, the ones before that. I think we already took them, but I did my front, I did my back. Show the back one, because that really, you can hide it with a shirt on. I didn't realize, you were even that big, Jermaine. Yeah, you could hide it, but I knew the truth. And the truth, even if it wasn't physically, it was internally. And here I am at Legoland trying to keep up. Show that picture. They got to put me in my own boat. Not that I was that bad. It's that one right there, yeah? I'm in my own boat. But it's still that tiredness. You can see it. You can see it. Looking back at that guy, I can see it. And I know what I felt. And what's that next picture? Where are we at there? Oh, we're hiking. And I'm still tired. I got the what do you call it? The diabetes eyes. It's just a little darker than they should be around my eyes and then around the neck. I'm at that pre-level. And what's the next one there? There's my daughter. She's happy. I'm barely hanging on. I am just tired. And then this picture, I'm on a cruise. And that's what I feel like on a cruise. I'm not just waking up. This is we're supposed to go out on an excursion? I'm not trying to go on an excursion. I'm tired. All right? Here I am with my daughters. They're smiling. And I don't know. And here's me winning the award. Show the next picture. That picture to this day is all over the place. Infusionsoft promotes it. And here I am meeting one of my business, he would be the one that I introduced to Infusionsoft later on, but Damon John, you guys know him from Shark Tank. I even do my website. I redo my website, and it's with me at the height of my weight. And here's where I start changing, right here. Power of decision. I get with my buddy John Walker, and John puts me to work. And some days, I'm boxing. Other days, I'm doing body weight exercises. Then we start running. My wife gets out. See, when she got pregnant, she somehow lost the weight. But, when she got pregnant, I got pregnant. I didn't lose the weight. And so sometimes it takes a village. It takes, accountability. It takes help from other folks. I mean, who's in the house? Nicholas said, dropped it quickly. Stories sound just like mine. 29 to 30, 60 pounds. Wow, Nicholas. How much did you drop? Type it in the chat room. Deidre says, love your transparency. Thank you, Deidre. Uh, Charlene is in the house. She's laughing at something I said. Uh, Destiny said, what did you do to stop eating bad? I'm having a hard time. I'm going to get into that. What did I do? Well, first, I read a book called 4 Hour Body. It was by Tim Ferriss. And in chapter 2, he talked about the slow carb diet. And carbs are the problem. Sugar is like the enemy. But it's the thing like the tongue, the taste palate, it's just as addicting as a drug. You know, someone gets addicted on a really bad drug and many of us judge them, but we're addicted on sugar all the same. And sugar and those carbohydrates, you know, are the enemy. And I had to first educate myself. And I'm the type where a lot of people call me cerebral. So when I actually start reading about something and I become a believer in my mind, I put it to action, especially after a decision. All right. And so that's what I began to do. But I want to talk about the word decision or the word decide. If you look at the word decide, hi, Nike, my sister's in the house. Decide. The root word of decide is side. Have y'all ever thought about that? Have you ever looked at that word? Side. You know what side means? Side means to kill off, right? Side means to kill off. Even if you look at decide, D means to cut, or it means off rather. So to cut off, to kill off. Look at some of the other words that have side in it. Homicide. You already know what that means. Suicide. These are some violent, tough words. Genocide, pesticide, fungicide. There's like hundreds of words that have that side, but it basically means to kill off, to cut off, right? And so what is a decision? Why are decisions so hard? Because a decision literally means to cut off, to kill off all other options. A decision means it's a line in the sand and it says, I'm on one side or the other. It's not leaving your options open. It's not leaving alternatives open. It's not, but I might do that. It's a clear decision, and it means to kill off all other options. Like Cortez in the 1500s up against the Aztec Empire with only less than 1,000 men versus 300,000. You know what he made? You know what he made his men do? Some people say burn the ships, sink the ships, whatever it was. When those ships landed to that land that they wanted to conquer, how they decided they were going to conquer was to burn or to sink their ships. And that's literally what a decision is. And it happens in an instant, like I said, and it's a phenomenon in the brain that it kills off all other options. And it says, this is my path and this is where I'm going. And this is what I'm going to do with an unshakable faith and unshakable courage. And that's where courage comes from. Courage comes from a decision. Courage comes from commitment. It starts with commitment. And once you got commitment towards something, which is because of the decision, then it leads to courage. And that's how it works. It's like not the other way around. Like, think about it. I've never done this, but I've been in situations where I was scared, maybe like jumping off a patio into the ocean when we were on our honeymoon, something like that, right? Now, I'm yet to do anything like skydiving or bungee jumping, but think about it, or just anything. Maybe you dove into a 30-foot pool, Olympic pool or something, and it was the first time you did it. What happens in the brain? You're scared, right? You're apprehensive, you're uncertain. And at some point you just say, I'm gonna do it, right? It's a decision. You cut off any possibilities of retreating back. That's what happens. And then you do it. You face your fear. The commitment leads to the courage to jump into the ocean or fly out of the plane or whatever you're gonna do, right? Commitment comes first. Decision comes first. And that's what happened. And I started measuring my food. I started tracking my food, started using this app called MyFitnessPal. And look at that weight. I started tracking my weight. I used a Withings scale, And there I am at 230 around, like I said, going into my 2013 year. 230 was my worst, though. I was like 2012. And then here I am around that June area, you could start seeing it drop. You could start seeing it drop. And there it was. And that's based on that decision. And then it started further dropping. So it didn't take long. By September of the same year, I'm down below 200, my goal. Now I'm like 190, 195, but a lot of that is muscle, so you can't even compare the numbers. But that's because of a decision, right? And so when you talk about eating right, just start tracking what you eat. And for me, it was getting complex carbs. So I started going to Chipotle. I know not all of y'all like Chipotle, but for me, it was, I just do a burrito bowl. I would do the black beans and the chicken and then the lettuce. And then sometimes I do the brown rice. And then that was it. And then at home, the wifey would help me to plan my meals. I believe if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So she'd have me little Tupperwares of like broccoli with chicken breast. 4 ounces is all you need, like a fistful of broccoli. Is somebody playing music out there? I don't know what's going on out there. I hope you guys can hear that. And then, fistful of rice, 4 ounces of brown rice, 4 ounces of broccoli, chicken, and that's the meal. And I'd make sure I stay religious to that. Now, we could have snacks here and there. Y'all can hear that, can't you? What is going on here? Somebody's having a concert out here right next to our studio. But that's what I began to do. And that was on the eating side of it. Eating just almost if you just start tracking your consumption using an app like MyFitnessPal, you'll start losing. A lot of that is because when we're not tracking and we're eating, you'd be surprised. It's very, for example, it's very hard to get a lot of calories when you're eating right. Like I have buddies that say, man, I'm trying to get 3,000 calories a day because they're trying to build muscle. It's actually very hard eating right to get 3,000 calories. You got to have a lot of meals. That's why you hear bodybuilders talking about 5 and 6 meals, because it's actually hard. But here's the flip side. It's very easy to get 3,000 calories when you're eating bad, because, the high fructose corn syrup and the processed meals and things like that, it's very easy. A little pack of Oreos, there's 200 calories right there. All right, so I started educating myself. Next came CrossFit. You got any pictures of CrossFit? Because then me and my wife joined this local CrossFit here. Yeah, that was me. I think that was like the first month. That one will work. There's me running. Here's CrossFit. Started learning about things like deadlifts and power cleans and started getting muscle. Caesar, how loud is this music here? Hey, 1 second, y'all. I'm about to see what is going on. I don't know. Maybe it's short-lived. Well, you guys got some background music for now. But, Chris says you can't hear anything. But I can. I can't even keep my thoughts together. Let me see who's in the house. Destiny. Okay, she says you're good. Chris is in the house. Nicholas. Cicilline. Chris, your Facebook Live sessions have been truly blessing me lately. Thanks so much. Thank you, Chris. Kevin, I lost at least 40 pounds myself in 2015. That is awesome, Kevin. Please, if you guys have your own transformations, please share them here. It was a decision to be disciplined so that my future self would say thank you. It's almost 2017, and I thank myself for making that decision last year. That is awesome, and that's what it's all about. And that's what I want y'all to do. If you're here, post your decision. Was there something in the past where you can remember having made a decision? Or maybe you're at the point where a decision needs to be made and you want to publicly make a commitment to make a decision. Remember, decide, kill off all other options, kill off all other situations, scenarios, and go with this. Go with this. Commitment leading to courage right now. So post that. If you've had a major point in your life where you had to make a decision on the other side of a transformation, and you did, and you stuck with it, and you saw the results to back that up. Congratulations, Kevin. Nicholas, I couldn't live like that no more. I hear you. Renee says, let's hear from Sarah. Sarah's not here, but Sarah's in the chat room. Sarah, you can definitely come in. Nikensha, my sister, says, proud of you guys. Nicholas, he said he dropped 60 pounds. That is awesome. That is awesome. Keep the stories coming. Chris says, I'm really happy that you are imparting this to us fellow musicians because this is the major problem killing many musicians. Chris, you are right. There has been a string of musicians in our community gone too soon because we don't talk about these issues. I mean, church is one of the places where you get the fried chicken after church. And just the simple replacement. And a lot of it is education. A lot of us believe that certain things are wholesome. Even my grandma, bless her heart, if you were on Thanksgiving, I brought her live. You know, I don't try to come in and push too hard, but I will, encourage Granny, hey, let's replace that with this. And it's okay for Thanksgiving to let go a little bit. It's okay, especially if you can bounce back and get back on track. The problem is what you do every day. I'm a fan of Aristotle. It said, we are what we repeatedly do. So to get all worked up over one day, I'm not about that. It's not what you do one day. Sure, it matters, but it's really what you do every day. It's what you have habitualized and made a habit that will lead to the results in either direction, right? Good or bad. So decision points in your life. Even Cesar, he had a decision point. I know my barber and also comedian Al Green. When I first met him, Al had lost 100 pounds. Decision, right? To decide, to kill off, all right? And so CrossFit actually became good at it. Let's continue the C's. Commitment leads to courage. Courage leads to capability, right? Write that one down. So here I am. I don't know anything about CrossFit. And if you guys are anything like I was, you're probably like, CrossFit is for the crazies. I see them on TV, lifting them big old boulders and doing crazy stuff. And I felt the same way. I remember when our neighbors first told us about CrossFit, I think they told us in January, and we didn't make our way to CrossFit until July. It took me a good 7 months just trying to decide. But once we did, the rest was history. And my wife took it up more than me. I mean, this girl started winning the competitions. I hang in there, but she starts winning the competitions. And here we are actually enjoying it. And that's one thing about it. That's when the transition happens. See, there's different mindsets at play here. And the mindset that you want to stay away from is the I have to do it. I have to do it. I heard this knucklehead guy, Jermaine, he's been inspiring me. And yeah, I got to do it. Or even not even me. You've been hearing this for years, right? Oh, I got to do. You see the infomercials in the middle of the night. We switch the channel real quick. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, Lord, I got. And that's that mindset, the I have to do it mindset is that's the dangerous one, right? And at some point, some people say it takes like 21 days to develop a habit. But at some point, a transition happens. And that's when you want to do it. You want to do it. And that's what began to happen. It was something about CrossFit that had I tried to get in the gym in past years, absolutely. Me and my buddy JP, maybe me and my buddy Brian, we had our spurts. By willpower, I'd get up at 6 a.m. We'd be in there, but it would never last beyond 2 or 3 months. And I could never figure that out, why it didn't stick. Like why I couldn't stick with it. Anybody ever experienced that? Where, come January 1st, you're in there, but come March, is that about right? About March, and we've fallen off. And that would be my cycle every year. You could follow my way. But then something about CrossFit, and kind of in analyzing it, I think the accountability aspect, I think now it's a community. So you're not like in the gym, you talk to some people, but you don't feel a sense of community, right? That's the second part, community, accountability, community, competitiveness. In the gym, you're seeing people. And I love the gym, don't get me wrong. But, CrossFit puts your score up on the screen. And you start to think, well, okay, I got to work at this, but I'm going to get Bob next time. I'm going to get John next time. And you just start working at it. You start slow. right? But you start building momentum like I talked about yesterday. And that's what started happening. And we just started putting things in place. I started putting things in place and the weight just started coming down. Start showing some of those other pictures, Cesar, start running, start comparing myself to some of these other folks. Well, not comparing, I would say, but just friendly competition, getting outside with the kids. We live and looking at our resources. Our resources, for example, a lot of us think we don't have the resources. I live on a trail. I bought the house at the end that leads to the trail into nowhere. And my butt hadn't even been on the trail. There's rabbits on the trail. There's coyotes on the trail, mountain lions on the trail. I'm the one waving to the people passing by on the trail, making sure they come back. I'm just taking inventory, making sure these people coming back because they're going deep into the trail. I'm looking at little old ladies doing it. I'm scared because somebody done told me mountain lions are out there or whatever. And I'm watching a little old lady come and go and she's coming back safe. And my resources right there. Finally, we embrace that. We embrace nature, God's bountiful creation. We embrace running. We have a sports park where we live, and we started running. And then here's where it got crazy. I'm not even a year into my transformation. And the same neighbors that tell us about CrossFit, I don't even think they asked me. I think they told me. They were like, Jermaine, you're running a marathon. I said, you don't even want to know what I said in the beginning. But, you put that up too early, but it's okay. It's okay. But they said, you're running a marathon. And I said, what, like one of those 5Ks? Because I ain't never done that either. How do you just do a marathon? Let's at least start with a 5K, 10K, 15K. They said, no, 26 miles. I said, 26 miles? That's like the distance I remember calculating from where I went to school, UC Irvine, all the way home to Long Beach. You mean I'm running like the freeway distance? Like, no, I can't do that. That was my first reaction. But guess what? I was crazy enough to sign up for it. And go back to that first picture. We started slow, right? Momentum. 6 miles. I didn't even think I could do that. I remember talking to my wife the night before, like, these fools want me to run 6 miles. I've never ran more than 2 miles. What is I'm gonna do? And the mind plays funny tricks on you. Most of us have way more potential than we even give ourselves credit for. Most of us, if I ask you to do push-ups right now, and let's say you stop at 25, let's say you can do push-ups and you stop at 25, you probably got 12 more in you. But just because of how the mind tricks us, we stop, we give in early. And that's what I thought. That 6 miles, that first run, that warm-up run, if you will, that preparation, it came and it went. 6 turned into 8 miles. The next time, I don't know if there's a date on this, but, there is a date. Go back to the first picture and let's see the difference. So that says, that must have been my last time before the marathon because that's March. But then go to the next picture. That's January. That's more like it. January 12th. And we run 8 miles. Then by January 19th, so that's like a week later, we're running 10 miles. What happens next? Then by, February 2nd, 15 miles, right? And then what happens next? By February 16th, 20 miles. Yeah, put it on my face for this one. I didn't think that I could run 2 miles. 2 miles. 2 miles. And you see the progression right there. That is in real time. I'm not doing anything crazy in between that. I'm not taking anything. That's just happening. That's the growth happening before my eyes. And now I'm hooked. And now comes time for the marathon. LA Marathon, 26.2 miles. The most I've done is 20 miles. That 6, that balance. It's a mystery. We're going to figure it out together. I think the date is like March something. And here we are. I think that picture there is the last mile. I think that's the last mile there. That's when I stopped to say hi to my family. That was mile 19, my kids. And what I could tell you about that experience, stopping at mile 19 to hug your kids, not just from just me accomplishing that goal, but having my kids see it, there's memories that when they get older, they remember the time spent with them. They remember, oh, my dad ran a marathon, so I know I can too when it comes time for them to do it. And, it was just such an amazing experience to stop on that 19th mile. I mean, just to be alive by the 19th mile, first of all, and then stopping. And this was the final stretch right here. Final stretch, the 25th mile. And I remember just telling myself, keep going, one step after the other. And we finished. And the rest was history. And that's 2014. Since, stayed on track because, one thing about motivation is that it comes and it goes. But how do you know when you've transformed? Because you don't want to go back to where you were anymore. And that was my journey. From there, we got in the gym. You could just cycle through all of those. And there you become hooked. And now it's to the point where I cannot not exercise. There's got to be something in my day every single day. And the same is true for my wife. And that's when it hooks you. They say 21 days to create a habit, 365 days to create a conscious activity. And now the pictures look a little different. Son is still happy, but now daddy is smiling and looking good. And some of my closest friends say, boy, you shaved 10 years off of your life right there. 10 years. And they're just talking from a physical perspective. Whatever, if that's 10, 15 years. But what's most important is that I feel great. I feel my best ever. I feel energized. I feel vibrant. I feel like I could run another marathon. I feel good. And we made it a family thing. That next picture, we're all running now. I think this is me, my daughter, and my wife at the Ladera Freedom Run. Yeah, you can go to that picture. And I have another one just recently of our entire family running a marathon. So we've made it a family affair, right? And so now when I'm on stage, here's some pictures. I don't feel like the audience is that I'm fainting and that the audience is moving around in circles, right? Now I'm coming from the right place, having known that my health and fitness is aligned with my economic goals. So for all my folks out there, yeah, maybe you making money and maybe career is good, but health is not. I would ask this seriously, to what end? And that's what I had to ask myself. To what end? I'm on this laptop all day and sure, I figure some things out, but to what end? To what end? To not be here past 40 or 50? To what end? And when that became clear, that's when change happened, right? So who's in the house? Kevin. Kevin says, results are the ultimate guru to your decisions and habits. I agree. Greg Townsend, the transformation is real. Greg is having his own transformation right now. Deidre Jackson says, 25, LOL. I'm not sure what that is referencing, but you mean like looking 25 years old? If you're saying that, I'll take it. Nicholas says, LOL, you just have to start. You will finish if you don't listen to the doubting mind. Absolutely, I agree. You just have to start. And Marche back at Poly. Is that Marche Palmer? I know that last name. Thank you for being on. I needed to hear this. Man, Marche was there when I actually started Hear and Play. Marche, tell them in the chat room, man. Some of those days at the computer lab and upstairs in the 100 building. And I was telling y'all, yeah, man, I just started this website. This was senior year. Yes, sir. Sarah is crying. I don't know what she's crying over. Probably something I said. Kevin says, I highly recommend anyone looking to make a weight transformation decision in 2017 to give Whole30 a spin in the new year. You can get it off of Amazon or your local library may have it available. Bottom line, the question we all need to answer when making transformational decision is, am I worth it? Because you are here right now. Let me remind you, you are. I love that, Kevin. And you are worth it. That's another question, right? And a lot of us, more people, even very successful people, we all deal with that. Am I worth it? And that question there is a root cause of a lot of a lot of pain and suffering in our own lives. What we put our sights on and what we believe we deserve all comes back to that root question, I believe. So thank you. Chris says, very true, because it's become a tradition to go to Burger King after church among musicians after each service. And before you know it, you're obese. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who else is in the house? Because I'm on my laptop today. I can't see when you enter the room. I can only see when you post a comment. Curran says, great inspiration. Absolutely. And share this. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because I'm just being transparent. I'm just showing you guys what my journey looked like. Because it's easy for people that, how when people meet you in recent times, so if people meet me now, they can't imagine, unless I tell them, they can't imagine my backstory with this. Oh, so you played football in high school. Marche will tell you I didn't play football. I was, in Love Don't Cost a Thing with what's his name, Nick? He used to be married to, Mariah Carey. Nick, I can't forget his last name. That was me, though. Love Don't Cost a Thing. Me and Sarah are high school sweethearts as well. But no sports in high school. I mean, maybe some freshman football, but nah. We see people's glory, but we don't understand their story. And most of the time, it's a story of struggle, Anybody you look at that you esteem to be like or aspire to is usually a story of struggle when you look under that hood. And mine has only been, the last 3 or 4 years. All right, Georgia in the house. Who else is in the house? They're really having a full concert back here. But I'm glad you guys can't hear it. Who else is in the house? Punch your name in the questions box. And tell me what your decision, what decision you need to make. And it doesn't have to be just health or fitness. 2017 is upon us. What decision do you need to make? And there may be multiple areas, but what is the most pressing? What is the most pressing thing in your life that needs a decision, that needs a decide, that needs options, all other options to be killed off, cut off, and ships burnt, ships sunk, and you need to just go for it. Post it in the chat room for me. Post it. Post it now. Now. Curran, all the way from Barbados in the house. Chris, you're blessing folks worldwide. There aren't many musicians here, gospel musicians here in Switzerland, so these broadcasts are really great. Wow, you're all the way in Switzerland. Bless you. Bless you, Chris. Greg, health, definitely not wealth. Health, absolutely, Greg. Destiny, I really thought you would be a pastor. You always have a great word. Hey, never say never. God may call me to be a pastor. She says, by now. Actually, Destiny, I remember you when you were just a little kid, Destiny. If this is the same Destiny, let me click. Yep. Your brother, Chad, on the drums, me on the piano. I mean, we're talking, 2002 or 3? But not a pastor. Not a pastor yet. Maybe one day. Who else is in the house? And what do you need to decide on? Remember, decide. Root word is side. Side is to kill off. The word side is a violent word. I mean, homicide, suicide, genocide, pesticide, fungicide. And then the decide is a part of that. Think about that. When you decide, that's a violent resolution you're coming to. And you come into that situation doing or dying. You come into that situation, with the mentality, of a warrior. I know when I was doing some personal development, they have you write words on a piece of paper, words that maybe you don't feel like right now, but words you want to aspire to, and so when I was doing health and fitness, I would come up with words like, I'm a warrior, right? I'm an Adonis, right? What else did I put on there? I'm a gladiator, right? And so when I was in my CrossFit sessions, and I'm brand new, and I talked about this yesterday, having to, learn this stuff, I would tell myself when I wanted to give up, when I wanted to stop, when I saw that clock, there was still 10 minutes left, I would tell myself, I'm a gladiator. I would say, I'm a champion, I'm a warrior, I'm an Adonis. And those words had an impact. So What are some words that you can come up with? And make sure the words have power. They may even be violent, you know, because a decision is not this fairy tale, you know, wooty-doody. Comes from the same side. Comes from the same side. But on the flip side, you're doing good with it. You're doing good with it. So a lot of the same tools, persuasion, power, can be used in both ways. You're using it for good, to help yourself, to decide towards a positive, to decide towards progression, growth, right? Steve, thanks for all you do, deciding for better health to fulfill the calling. Absolutely, Steve. I salute you. Destiny says, yes, that's me. I thought it was. So remember to decide. And if you can use my story as motivation, please come back to this video. Cesar, did we run through some of all the rest of those pictures? And now show them some of the other pictures. I was at an event and there was a brother that used to be in the NFL. I told him, meet me in the gym at 6 a.m. I wanted to see if I could hang. And that's Truck Stop, Anthony Truck Stop Trucks. And I could hang. Now he's got way more muscle mass, but being on the other side of that transformation, there I am in the gym with my dad. Dad was hanging in there too. There I am the other day. You may have remembered that Facebook Live. And man, I got to tell you, I do a lot of curls. But they didn't always look that way. There I am in the garage with my daughter, because this is a family affair here, right? And there I am with the missus. We hardly ever do shots together, but I guess we decided to do this shot that night. And I said, you know what, I'm going to share this because it's been a journey. And I always say, a couple that, what did I say? Couple that works out together, stays healthy together, something like that. But at any rate, be encouraged. Go back to my video yesterday. Momentum. Start somewhere, right? Go back to my video last week on how much it takes for water to boil. It takes 212 degrees. Go back to that video, consume that video. I like to use different analogies because it may not be the boiling water that gets you, but that spoke to a lot of people from the comments and the messages that I got. But it might be the momentum, the train. It takes that train a long time to get going, but once it develops momentum, it powers through a steel building. That may be the analogy that hits you. It may be just seeing it here on this Facebook Live, here in my studio, that gets you. But whatever it takes, I am here to let you know that you can do it. And I'm not just offering up air. I'm coming from a personal testimony because I've been there. You've seen the pictures, and you heard it from the horse's mouth. I have been there. I know what it feels to be tired. I know what it feels like to be defeated. I know what it feels like to have no energy and to need all the energy in the world to be there for your kids. I know what it feels like to be on stage in a powerful position, a position of authority, in a celebratory position, and not feel like I'm there. Like I said, I know what it feels like to be in an arena where I'm supposed to be excited and the thing is just spinning. I know the other side of this. So that's why I can go back and I can put myself there and I can feel that to be able to encourage anyone that's there right now that you can do it. And now is the perfect time. There's never been a better time than now. I didn't need any medication. They were telling me in 6 months, to come back because we might have to put you on some medication because you're at the whatever the pre-stages was. I didn't do that. When I had come back, when I got back to that doctor and they looked at my reports, he congratulated me, shook my hand and told me this is how it's supposed to be done, right? This is how it's supposed to be done. And that's the same message that I want to give to you. You can do it that way. Medication, sure, stay on it. I'm not telling you to defy your doctor's orders, but you can do it naturally. You can do it by making better decisions about eating. You can do it with health and fitness regimen and exercise. Start with a walk, a brisk walk. And that walk will turn into a jog. That jog will turn into a sprint. That sprint may turn into you wanting to join a CrossFit. Maybe not. But, getting in the gym, getting on the treadmill, getting on the elliptical, getting some regimen, bodybuilding.com. There are so many resources out there and they don't cost a dime. And there's so many things you can do just in the house. A good body squat, could make you so tired. A squat and a push-up. There you got your legs handled, you got your upper body, your crunches, sit-ups, You can do dips against the chair. There's so many things that you can do without a gym membership. So that ought not even be an excuse. Really what it comes down to, and I'll say it again, is a decision. So friends, family, under the sound of my voice, let's decide. Let's decide and let's make it happen. And not just fitness, let's decide. Let's decide in spiritual matters. Let's decide in matters of family. If you haven't spoken to certain family members, and I'm preaching this to myself, let's decide in matters of relationships. Let's decide in matters of finance, career, things you put aside, projects you laid aside. Let's decide in all manners of life to make a balanced life so we can get to the end of it and we can look back and say, we did this the right way with the right people at the right times. And we didn't squander the opportunities before us to live a fruitful and to live a productive life and to be the light of the world, right? So that's my message to you. And thank you for hanging with me here. And I'm going to get out of here, but I'm just going to shout a few more folks out. If you're here and you're being shy, don't be shy, because I'm not being shy. I've been shy too long on social media. I'm not shy anymore. You're going to hear from me or you're going to unfriend me, but you get tired of me talking about motivation, inspiration, and being better, but you're just going to have to hide me because I'm not shy no more. So you don't be shy. Tell me if you're here, because that's the only way I know you're here. Kevin, shout out to you. The ultimate resource is our ability to be resourceful. I agree. The resources are around us. We just have to be resourceful, not want and beg for more resources, because they're oftentimes there. Deidre, your love of life is so infectious. Thank you, Deidre. And if I can infect as many people as possible, that is the goal. You and your wife should do a workout video targeting couples, healthy lifestyles. You know what? We actually just might do that, Deidre. Destiny says, dang, Sarah, looking great. I need your help. Okay, I'll tell Sarah to reach out if you guys aren't friends already. I would bring the roaring lion with courage out of me. Oh, that reminds me, Nicholas. Commitment leads to courage. Courage leads to capabilities. Capabilities is just another word for the skills that it takes. Like I said, you start slow, but you start building momentum and those skills increase and that capability increase. Capability leads to confidence. And then confidence leads to a new level of commitment. And this is what we call a positive feedback loop, because you just keep looping, but the loop gets bigger and bigger, or you can think of it as a spiral, and you just keep going to the next level, because that new level of commitment, for example, in CrossFit for me, it was, once I got that confidence, then I said, I'm going to actually start doing the next level of the workouts, because they give you like 2 or 3 different levels. Started with the basic level, then that led to confidence. I said, you know what? Nothing can stop me. And then I start getting a little cocky in a good way. And then that led to courage to be better. That led to better capabilities, things that I can do now I couldn't do before. That leads to confidence. That leads to a greater level of commitment. And it's just this positive feedback loop. And so thanks for reminding me of that, Nicholas. I will bring the roaring lion with courage out of me. My decision is not to let other people's actions determine my feelings. I decided that I will focus on me and my career more. I decided I will not let my mind be stuck on pessimism. I respect that, Nicholas. And congratulations for coming to that resolve there. And thanks for posting that. And many of you are going to see this video after the fact. We're not going to be live. Please still post comments. I read the comments after the fact, and we can keep this dialogue going. And that is all. Oh, Cesar's in the other room. Cesar says losing 30 pounds in 2017. Decided. Man, Cesar, why don't you come in here, man? Because we have our controls are on the other side. So you can just put it on me or the best view, and come in here and put that on camera. Put that on camera. Here he comes, folks. So what did you say? You said 30 pounds?
Hey, everyone.
Hey, guys, this is the guy running everything. All the lights, cameras, all that stuff. So what are you going to do?
It's been a life. All my life I've been wanting to do it, and I've gone down to the weight where I wanted to be, but I just let life happen, and I put on a few more pounds again. But it's time to get it done. So I know nice. I've done it before, and
you done, and you can do it again.
Do it again.
Absolutely. Hey, who else has got a decision? Come on, we're coming out the woodworks here. Thanks, Caesar, for that. Post it. Post it because, until you make a commitment, and sometimes you put yourself in a position to be accountable. Post it on your timeline. Tell folks what you're going to do. I like the person that said they're not going to care what other people think. Post it. Your haters will come, but the people that will support you will support. And that's all that matters. That you've got people that know that you're doing it, because then people will hold it to you. If you made a public announcement that you're going to do this, but then I see you with a Twinkie in your mouth, well, now it becomes the village's responsibility to say, wait, I thought you said, right? And that's just a little bit more accountability, because now you gotta go back on your commitment. And now you got to explain why you're inconsistent with it. So accountability is one of the big things. Greg says, I commit to post my before and after pictures in 12 months. All right, Greg's been coming over to the house, and I shot a few before pictures. So you said 12 months. I hold you to it. That would be, November 27, 2017. Sarah says, go Cesar. Kevin says, congratulations, Cesar. We are rooting for you, my friend. That's awesome. So I'm headed out, unless there's some more comments coming in. Let me know you're here even after the fact, and I'll see you guys. I'll be back, same channel, same page. Share this with somebody who can benefit from it, and be encouraged, stay motivated, stay inspired, and keep tuning in. Click the button to get notifications when I go live. It's so much better to have you guys here live with me than after the fact, so do that. Comment, like, and share with somebody who can benefit from this message. I'm not always in the studio. This is more rare because it takes a little bit more work. I'm usually on my phone here. But either way, I've got a message. And when I've got something to share, I'm going to share it with you. So thank you for joining me. And I'm signing off. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.